All right, everyone. Hello, and welcome to today's Lunch and Learn. My name is Jeremy. I will be leading today, and we'll just give another minute or two for people to join, then we'll get started. Wow, we got a lot of people coming in today. All right. Well, we have one pre-submitted question today, so we will start with that. But everyone else that is waiting, if you have another question that you would like to get to or would like us to answer, please feel free to ask that question in the chat, and we will be happy to um, try to get to another question. Um, so yeah, if you have any other questions, please post in the chat, and we will start with um, a different question that our pre-submitted question for today. So our pre-submitted question that we have is from Gunner, and it says, when I'm using a wait on external system in a flow and expose this flow as a REST API, then it is not executed. Instead, we get a flow tracking ID back. Um, so uh, for this question, I will allow you to talk, but I will say, unless it is misunderstood, this is an expected behavior on this. And if you have any further information, you can give this to us. But because this this wait on external system is an asynchronous step. Asynchronous does not have like inputs and outputs in the same way that a regular just subflow or other synchronous steps have. Asynchronous steps are expected to give a flow tracking ID. Because they're waiting on something else to happen or waiting on something else to run, it is going to give you a flow tracking ID so you can keep track of that flow. And if you are receiving that flow tracking ID, that means that it is running, but it's running in the back end or on a different thread or something like that. So we're waiting when you're waiting on something like that, um, it is that flow itself is not actually going to give you an output. It's going to run whatever that is somewhere else, and it's waiting for that. So that's why you don't actually see it running, or you're only seeing this flow tracking ID. That
Yeah.
is the expected behavior of asynchronous steps like that.
Can I tell you something?
Yes.
Because it normally works the flow and I get the response back. So now I just try to expose it as the REST API, and then I don't get the object. I just get the flow ID. So in the real world, inside decisions, I map the exit to a object. And I get the response back. So when I just execute it as a REST API call external from Postman, I get this, when I test it, then I get just a flow tracking ID. And it's not executed because what I try is to, I put something in the RabbitMQ queue and I get the answer on the other one back. And that works fine. Just when I use REST API, it doesn't. Did you hear me?
Yes. Just a
Yeah,
minute.
okay.
I was just processing in my brain what you said.
Could you talk through like the setup? So like you're setting it up as an API integration, right? And so I'm assuming you have a flow, and then you have like a, what is it, start link flow async or something there, and then you're calling that parent flow
No,
as an
it's but this is just a normal, let's say, because it's asynchronous call, and I get the response on the other flow,
Mhm,
and then I get it sent back to this wait on state external state,
mhm.
and I get a response back on the object, and then I map it to the output. And that works fine when I run the flow inside decisions. And then I just say, no, I just expose the REST API, and it also tells me this is the input, this is the output. It tells me. But when I execute it, nothing happened. The only thing I get back is this FlowX tracking ID. And I can see nothing's happened because there's nothing in the queue. It's not running that part.
Because it's putting. Oh, okay, I see where you're at. So you're just trying to put it into queue, but it's not putting it in a queue.
Yes, correctly.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting. And then I try to, okay, now I just capsule that in inside the other flow, but doesn't help. It gets the same result.
Okay, so we got so it sounds like we got a couple of layers here. So we have a wait on external step. We're putting it to a message queue, and it works if it's not called via API. But once you call it via API, that's when we have this weird behavior. What version are you on?
8.
8 what?
Oh wait, I think I missed the latest patch.
8.19, I presume.
Let's see.
I think it's the latest. Hold on, let me go to the decisions.com. Resources, download videos, events.
I have 8.18.
8.18. Okay, I know we have 8.19 is the latest.
Yes, it's the latest. Yeah, I missed the last patch.
No worries, no worries. All right, I'm just trying to get as much information as I can because I'm wondering, was there a recent update or no? Was there a recent update to 8.18 or like no? You've been on 8.18 for a while.
I was a while.
Okay, so there's probably not much major difference between 8.18 and 8.19, so I don't think that's what it is. Let's do this. I'm going to write down the issue. I think due to the level of involvement of like the message queue server and things like that, I'm just going to submit a support ticket on your behalf. Because this will be something that'll be easier handled if we have a support person. Get on a call with you and be able to look at your environment since there's multiple moving parts. Nothing really jumps out to me on like what that issue could be. It'd just be easier if we have someone help you out. So I'll submit a support ticket on your behalf, and I'll make sure to email that ticket to you. The ticket number.
Thank you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
All right. Great. So that is our pre-submitted questions. We don't have any other pre-submitted ones. We do have a question that just came in from Leah Turner in the chat. Says, when attempting to set up an external truth table that's been sourced by a form, having issues with the request not matching any lines in the truth table, just outputting a list of all rows values. So I'll give you the opportunity to talk if you have anything to add or if you need to expand on anything from your question.
Yeah, so whenever we're trying to run the truth table in the flow, it is the output, just a list of the output from every single line is being output. It's not matching a row like a usual truth table does. The input that we're putting in, usually it matches a single row, but it's like it's not matching any row. And I've never made one before, so I'm sure it's user error, or there might be something I'm missing.
Okay. All right, so let me see this. Okay, so you're trying to set up an external truth table. Just get one started.
And just to clarify, Leah, so is it the truth table is outputting all of the matches, or it's just there's no data, it's just empty data?
It's out. It looks like there are no matches at all, but the output is coming out as all the rows outputs. So you don't see like the green checkbox that you usually see in a truth table. Like
Got you. Okay.
Matches, which would be fine. It's like
I see.
no matches, but outputting all the data.
Interesting. Got it. Okay.
I don't know if I'm following. I think I'm lost on what's happening here. Jared, if you understand better,
Sure. Yeah.
I think my brain is blanking at the moment.
Sure. It's a Monday. Yeah. Do you mind if I share? Because I think I get it. Yes. Ooh, I clicked the wrong button. Screen 2. All right. So let's do this. So I'm going to, there's a great document. Let's go to external truth table, external truth table. Actually, don't we have one? I mean, we do. There's just I think there's already one configured here that I can utilize. Yep, I know. Where's the project? Will Clemens oh, never mind. I found it. I just don't read. I was about to say, I thought there was a project on this document. So basically, I'm going to utilize this. I can't spell to save my life. There we go. I'm going to use this project as an example. And basically, I'm just going to walk through how we create external truth table, because what the error sounds like to me, Leah, is that it's probably something in the configuration. So I'll just walk through it, and maybe that will help kind of clarify, what are the things that need to be edited or changed. So I'm going to go ahead and let's just grab rules, and I'll say this is for Leah, and we'll generate the project rules, and I'm going to import this thing that I have. Download external truth table, import the project, apply resolutions, continue. Awesome, very cool. So now my external truth table, which is external truth table, perfect. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create one more designer project folder. I'm just doing this for organization. It's not required for get it to function. And so that's test external truth table. And I'm going to, let's see, I think it's like pick external truth table. Pick create truth table. I'm gonna go ahead and pick or create role. Pick existing, recent, all, rules, external truth table, boom. Okay, and then what I'll do is I'll say this is email addresses, shared@decisions.com. I'm just testing and see if this functions. All right, so let's look at this. So when we go here, is this the thing you're talking about? All
Yep,
red
that's
X's?
No,
Okay.
no red X's, no check marks.
No red X's, no check marks.
Mhm.
Does your truth table look like, is your truth table like has data in it?
Yeah, and we're sourcing it with a form. So we've got a little source flow with a form that's there.
With a form.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're going to this truth table. You edit it, editing it this. So you're using what, like a form data source over here?
Yes. Or
What?
the source flow, the output from the source flow.
The output from the source. Oh, you're using like a flow source reporting to do it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so let me. Okay, do we know if that flow is running? So basically, here's the next troubleshooting step. So what I would advise, I think the problem is coming from utilizing like a flow source reporting.
Okay.
Can you tell me a little bit about, because there could be a better way we can architect this. What's the where's this data coming from? Is it a database? Is it a document?
No, it's basically we're trying to set up like a routing flow to get different referrals if they meet certain criteria to different people. So we want to expose a form to the end user that they can enter their clinicians into the
Okay.
form. And the form gets populated by their form entries, their clinicians. So we bring in a batch of referrals. We can send the referrals through the truth table to see who the appropriate clinician to work the request would be.
Got it. Where's that data stored? Like, are you using like a database table or a decisions user defined type?
User defined type.
Which one?
Let's see. Go down from favorites. I think an entity is what we're using, I believe.
Okay, perfect. So, because then what you can do instead of using flow source reporting, let's let me create an entity so you kind of see what this looks like. Let me add another folder, designer project folder. Create a folder, designer project folder, and this is going to be data types. Great. And let's say I have an entity. I'm just going to create a very simple one. User defined types, entity, and we'll say this is email entity, and all it has is an email. And I'm just going to make it super simple, just has an email for sake of demonstration. And then what I can do with this, let me create another folder and just call it data, enter. And then now in my flow, I'm going to create some data. So we go to user defined types. This part you won't need to do because you already have data. I'm just building it so I can make the demonstration for you. For the data, perfect. And I'll make a couple of records. Build data, and we'll do the name will be jared@decisions.com. And then email, we'll just make it the same. Put that, oops, that's not it. That's a version. Copy, paste, perfect. And we're going to debug this. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to set this to Jeremy and set this one to Jeremy. So now I got 2 records. And so now I can create some type of data to it. So the really cool thing that you can do here with the truth table is when we do that, since you already have a data type, we can go to create rule, truth table, external truth table, and this is going to be my external email, external truth table. And then now what I can do is I can edit this report and I can pick, select the verb. So select it. I think I need to edit the report first. I'm going to use my user defined type, my entity data, email entity, and then I'm going to have my email over here. And I'm going to say, oh, I actually need to define an input, right? So I'm going to say this is my, like you said, like this is your credentials or what type of person to work with. This will be my email to test. Perfect. And then I could say, does the email to test close, and then we'll say equals. And then I could say email to test. So then I have to set up the inputs here, and then my default output. Oh, I think I forgot some stuff in it. So in the entity, let me go ahead and create that. We can say this is the outcome. And then what I can do is once I have these entities here configured to where I have, here's the input that I'm going to test, and then here is the output I'm going to pass in, and then it will evaluate those two. So let me connect that so you can kind of see how that works. Email external truth table, and actually got to update those records so I can add that. Rules, external truth table, flow, where am I at? Data types. Yep, I need to update this. Edit. Let me go ahead and make this. Yep, show edit action. That'd be great. And then I can edit it on the fly, and then I just have to say edit. And the outcome is going to be, interface with so and so. Let's say this is the HR department. I'll be HR for today. And then Jeremy is going to be finance because he's good at math, right? And then in this truth table, what we can do is now I can set up the email to test. Edit the report is going to be the email. So this email to test, email entity name. Yep, that's right. Let's see the following fields. Yeah, no, I know. email. There we go. Email to test equals. That's what I was looking for. And then the outcome, I'll add my outcome over here. And then when I select this one, then I configure this as my output data. Nope. Default output data. Settings. Outcome. Nope, we got that. No, I understand that. Edit the report. I think I just need to rename it. This is the one I did. Don't I just rename this? Isn't that how that works? I thought I actually pick it. I think I have to rename the field. Default output data. Email entity, data outcome. Default output data. What? Select the column range of the field.
We had the same issue with this step too. That's where I was thinking maybe we went wrong.
The default output, yes. So there should be, I don't know, maybe this has changed or something different, but typically what all you have to do is when you have the output, is you can specify that output to be, if the email address, first name, last name is, let me look at the actual example. So, oh, that's, okay, that's what it is. I guess you can rename it the other side. I didn't think about that. We can rename this to be string, because that's what it is. It's gotta be the same. And then I think I could select it. It's probably a data type thing that, outcome, yep, there we go, default output. Okay, so that's a cool thing to know. So basically, you
Okay,
have to make sure the output data is the same, and then then you can select it. And then now, when I go to my thing, now you'll see, okay, if it's Jeremy, it's gonna go to or me, it's gonna go to HR. If it's Jeremy, it's gonna go to finance. But you'll have to make sure that you use this pencil here to make sure that the data type of your data structure matches the expectation.
I think that's
Yeah.
probably where we went wrong
Yeah.
because it's not right now.
Exactly. And I would also, like I said, I would use your entity because it's going to be more scalable for you. Because as you get more and more records, or more people start using the system, the flow source reporting will slow down this rule, and you'll get to a point where you'll be like, man, like why is it taking so long for it to determine why, it's got to go to this individual, and it's because it has to, for every record, it runs a flow, and that's just going to take a while. So I would encourage to change the design paradigm to your entities, and then that's going to be much easier for the system to be able to look at who goes to what, if that makes sense.
Awesome, thank you. We'll try it out.
My pleasure. All right, any other questions?
Anyone else? Feel free to post in the chat, raise your hand. Well, it looks like quite a few people are leaving now. So I think think if no one else has any questions, I think we are going to be able to end for the day. So thank you for those that asked questions. Thank you, Jared, for helping out with those answers. And if you guys have anything else, we've got more Lunch and Learns this week, led by Will, Jared, and Robert. So if you guys need anything, please ask us, and we'd be happy to help. Thank you for joining today.